Good day. I am Robert Silverstein, MD, for Hartford Public Access Television and the Preventive Medicine Center. If you have any questions about this program, please give me a call at 549-3444, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. As you know, we usually run through the week's events, and we're in the midst of dealing with the big economic programs in Congress right now. And I think that President Obama is correct to do what he is doing by being strong and standing up to the Congress. And I don't think the problem is entirely due to the Republicans. I think that the Democrats have sort of dragged their feet, but in any case, it looks like it's about to happen. And today may very well be the day that it happens or not. And that should give the stock market and optimism in the country a big boost. But now, to the medical headlines, so to speak. And these aren't really headlines, so we'll start with just a few small ideas. The first article that I have here from, I believe, the Journal of the American Medical Association is about a chemical that comes out of those water bottles that everybody carries around and buys in the stores and throws them in their purse and on their bicycle and so on. And I'm talking about the generally disposable plastic bottles. They contain a chemical called bisphenol A, B-I-S-P-H-E-N-O-L, and then the letter capital A. And you don't need to remember that. There's an easy abbreviation called BPA. And that BPA elutes, which means comes out of. You know the word dissolution, to dissolve. Well, this is the elution process where it comes out instead of goes in. Comes out of the plastic bottle into the water, and you and I drink it. Well, it turns out that that actually has hormonal effects, which may be affecting the frequency of some cancers like breast and prostate and ovary, and also possibly even people's sexual preferences, because it is hormonally active. So it may turn some people down, and it may turn some people's tumor tendency on aggressively. And that is the possible association of BPA from those plastic water bottles and soda bottles and even juice bottles that people are buying and drinking. Common chemical linked to metabolic and cardiovascular disorder. That's another article on exactly the same thing, and it talks about bisphenol A. Then how to tell if plastic containers are safe. It turns out they all have numbers on the bottom, so you turn it over and you look on the bottom. I've tried this a couple of times and couldn't see what they were talking about, but if you can see the number 1 or 2, the bottle is generally safe, and the same for 4 and 5. 1 and 2 are supposedly the safest, 4 and 5 slightly less safe. And then here's the discussion of those same chemicals affecting fertility, and I've already addressed that. Here's a set of my patient education handouts, and if you have any interest in this, you may send a large self-addressed stamped envelope to our office, the 8.5 by 11, because I don't like to fold these, and then we will send you this packet of 10 sheets at no charge to explain to you how to be well and take care of yourself. Next is about REI. REI is a store that's in West Hartford. Very nice addition. It's an outdoor store. And they have really interesting stuff. They carry lots of what I call Louis Vuitton for the middle class, which is North Face, clothing and gear. And right now they have a little bit of a sale. They have a 30% sale. And so you might want to take a look at that. That's out at Blueback Square, across from the new Whole Foods, and you can go in there, and things aren't so busy now, as I'm sure they're not so busy virtually everywhere. Next is a product, a natural product that claims to raise the good cholesterol, lower triglycerides, and improve the circulation. And the name of this is AMLA Max, AMLA Max, and that refers to a particular fruit by the name of amla, which I think comes from India, which has these beneficial properties, and there is more and more information about the value of grapes. I was reading just recently that pycnogenol grapeseed extract has an effect on leukemia cells. And then here's quercetin and resveratrol are two extracts, one from watermelon, the other red wine or grape juice, and they are sort of the fountain of youth vitamins, keep the system from aging. But I only recommend taking vitamins 5 days a week. So if you're going to take quercetin or pycnogenol or resveratrol or grape extracts or berry extracts or Amla Max, after an introductory period of maybe 2 to 4 weeks, 2 weeks to 4 weeks on daily treatment, then go to 4 or 5 days a week for whatever natural treatment that you are going to use. I just think that the body gets adapted to something that it does every day. And you might say, well, we don't get adapted to breathing every day, and we don't get adapted to drinking every day, so why would we get adapted to these? It's just my thought process, it's just my intuition, and it's based on how people get started with coffee and cigarettes and alcohol. In the beginning, a little bit has a significant effect, but then when they start doing it every day, no longer has the desired effect or much less of it. This is a discussion of psoriasis. This is from the Archives of Dermatology, and this abstract basically says that there is, let's see, what do they call this? It's an ointment. And what is in this ointment is indigo, you know the color indigo. It's kind of a bluish, if not purplish. Indigo naturalis, and that's an herb. Indigo, looks like natural, naturalis. And that is very helpful with difficult to treat psoriasis. A lot of people have asked me about hormone replacement therapy. In general, my position is that I'm opposed to that for many reasons. Causes dry eyes, increases the risk of asthma, increases the predisposition to clotting, increases the risk of breast cancer. But here's a new one, shrinks the brain volume. So people who use hormone replacement therapy have smaller brains, which is not exactly a way of saying they're more likely to get Alzheimer's, but I think that not shrinking your brain is definitely a good idea.